The twin Grinches of Omicron and a broken supply chain did not steal Christmas from retailers. Holiday retail sales surged to the biggest yearly increase in 17 years.
Joining us on the KOGO News Live line, Lisa Miller, a consultant with decades of experience studying consumers. Good morning, Lisa.
Good morning.
So, biggest yearly increase in 17 years. What caused this uptick?
Well, it's really interesting, and thanks for having me back. And as you guys know, we've been tracking the COVID sentiment since March of last year, and I call it the journey back to joy. And basically, there was so much pent-up demand and excitement and joy relative to the holidays, people actually did go back to the stores. And, department stores were actually up 21% versus last year. So joy was in the air.
So what does this suggest for the economy in 2022? I mean, we've got this, huge COVID outbreak going on right now where we've got, 3 Americans every second being testing positive? I mean, this is a mess, but it doesn't seem to be stopping us.
Well, what's interesting is that, honestly, I was thinking about this yesterday. I have some new data that I just got in, and I think we were, from a retail economy perspective, I think we were very blessed that Omicron Christmas wasn't happening this coming weekend, because it might have been a little bit different. But what I'm seeing in the data is that, yes, anxiousness and anxiety is definitely increased. We were on a very positive run, from September, October, November. But with Omicron, there's definitely a little bit of a cloud over there. And what the biggest concern is, about 69% of Americans are really concerned about the breakthrough cases, with people being vaccinated, wearing masks, and people are still getting it. And baby boomers and the silent generation are the ones that are most anxious right now.
So there was a report recently that people actually spent more than they had. So the average person is expected to be in debt until April. Did you come across any of that in your research?
Well, what I did see, I don't have relative to the credit card data, but what I do have is, 22% of Americans said that they splurged more this year versus last year, and that was actually led by dads and then also Gen Z. And so, again, I think people are just tired of being at home. They're tired of being in, sweatpants and shorts and T-shirts. And so what they splurged on for gifts this year were apparel, jewelry, and electronics. So those were the main things that people splurged on.
So those are, and 2 of those are very big ticket items, jewelry and electronics.
Correct. And so, people, I have a study that'll be going out in a week or so, but, people also, from a jewelry perspective, people put off engagements and, maybe anniversary activities. And so jewelry it's always big at Christmas, but it was definitely a very joyful thing to give this holiday season.
Well, I like a little sparkle. I can see why.
a little bling is always good, right?
Love a little bling.
Hey, real quickly, though, what about the increase in the price of gas and groceries? Did that figure into any of this?
Well, what's interesting is that, inflation is definitely a part of these sales numbers. But when you get these numbers, particularly for department stores being 21%, people were paying a little bit higher. We know inflation is at a record high as well. But the interesting thing is it just didn't dissuade people from purchasing. So I think that's where joy is really the leading, sentiment for the holidays, which was really nice compared to last year.
Lisa Miller, consultant with decades of experience studying consumers and what they buy and who they are. And thank you again for joining us.
Absolutely. Have a good one.